I take this opportunity to thank ANU student body for giving me the opportunity to serve them. I have served diligently to the best of my ability.
What I'll miss most is maybe being the Mr. ANU, but it has also sharpened me to be a leader outside there.
I'd miss so much about that role is the fact that I was able to sit down and listen to people's stories and help them maybe by getting scholarships and funds for their fees.
What I will miss most is having my sash and crown around the school.
I really miss those interactions with students and people calling me pastor around, so I'll miss that too. At Africa Nazarene University, leadership is more than just a role. It's a responsibility forged in purpose.
What pushed me to vie for this position is my purpose and vision to serve the humanity. So the desire is to impact lives positively, and that is what has always been driving me in alignment with my vision.
Through the foundational leadership training, a mandatory course for all emerging leaders, ANU instills its core values: character, competence, and community.
Nazarene really contributed, especially when it comes to the foundational training, which is among the core factors for someone to get in the council. Our former Dean of Students, that is Dr. Boyo, I can say he's my mentor when it comes to leadership. He picked me up when I was in my 1.2. Till date, we still communicate. Till date, we still talk. Till date, he still asks, how is the progress? I can say through him, I was able to be mentored well to where I am. And I'm very certain that I've also mentored a few people behind me.
The ANU Student Council is at the heart of ANU, amplifying voices, bridging gaps, and bringing students' aspirations to reality. Being the Director of Spiritual Affairs is all about taking care of the spiritual well-being of students at Africa Nazarene, both at the university level and as a Christian Union level.
So my role in the Student Council was to ensure that all the social media platforms of the Anusco are up to date. We made sure, together with the MIS, that we are updating daily events, any information that needs to be passed across to the students. We're also working hand in hand with the marketing department, where we're supposed to also help in the marketing of the schools.
As the academics director pursuant to our Anusco constitution, my roles were to ensure that I represent the students well on matters academics. I was a link between the students and the academics, that is the registrar's office, the exams office, and even the Deputy Vice Chancellor's office.
My mandate was to ensure that the students and the property of the institution are safe, and also to create a collaboration or a link between the institution, the student, and the local law enforcement, including the chief, the Olekasasi police, and even the Ongatarongai police.
Well, basically it's to do with matters of student life, that's international students' life and welfare. You know that it has to do with their visas, KPP, that Kenya Pupils Pass, and alien card, and matters to do with that, yes.
Every leader's story starts with a single step: the decision to serve. The time we were going to Kibra on January 2023, shocking to many people. That was actually the time I joined the Christian Union. I had no idea that I would be the Christian Union chairperson. I had not applied to be the Christian Union chairperson. However, God was gracious enough to give me that position then, but I never thought of that. I never thought of doing all the things that we have done as a Christian Union. I could not imagine.
I can say it's something I've been doing. These things, resilience, and the small steps we made when we were in maybe primary, in high school. And then when I came to my campus life, at first I wanted to go to a public university, but then my mom was like, you can't go to a public university because you know how the politics and the politics is kind of tough, and she was worried about my safety. So when I came to Nazarene my first year, that's my 1.2, I was a delegate. The next year, I was a delegate for Dennis era. Then in Dalmas's era, I was one of the directors for clubs and association. And then, by God's grace, I became the vice president 2024 to 2025.
The campaign period was a true test of endurance, late nights, strategic manifestos, with the hope that the students would believe in their vision.
The campaigns, indeed, the competition was tough. I must admit that. And the campaigns were very, very exorbitant, draining, mentally, emotionally. Since I was ready for the task and I was ready to go for it, I had to be persistent in pursuing the vision I had.
I had a very crazy moment when it came to me choosing who to deputize or me being chosen, because ilikuwa push and pull. This opponent wanted me while Faustin also wanted me. And then I was at a standstill, and I sat down one night and talked to myself. I was like, you know what, let me just go with him. Whatever happens, whether we win the race or we fail.
Bringing together diverse perspectives under one common purpose, they took decisive action, enhancing student support.
First of all, when we were beginning our reign, my biggest worry was, will we ever deliver to the people the way we promised? Because according to our manifesto, it was the 5G approach. And we all know that the 5G approach, according to how the network is currently working right now, it's the fastest and the very accurate network form.
When we came into office, we had different leaders, elective position and both appointing positions. And on elective positions, I had my manifesto, Secretary General had manifesto, and also the treasurer as well. But now as the chairperson, you have to make sure that you bring these people together, you harmonize the ideas they're having in the document or in the manifesto. Once you have harmonized this, then you'll be in a position to bring the team. Get to know your team well. Let them speak out. Ask them their values. Get note of these values. After noting these values, select the values that you are in a position to work with. From these visions, you'll be in a position to establish now the beliefs. From the beliefs, then you'll be in a position to also establish the principles that will be guiding you.
From day one, the council moved with diligence and purpose, championing for reforms and bringing the campus alive.
For example, in the docket for Director Spiritual Affairs, they have been in a position to coordinate and deliver the activities in the Christian Union.
I've had so many highlights as the spiritual director for the past 2 years. One of them being launching Shama Worship Night. We also launched the street worship, whereby we congregate at the basketball court, all the students, and we worship God outdoors. I've also gone for various missions. We have gone to St. Paul's Children's Home in Mana. We have visited our community high school, or Lekasasi High School, to speak with the children on numerous accounts. At the same time, we have also launched Celebrate Recovery, which is a ministry that helps every single person to recover from their hang-ups, addictions, habits, and everything they may be suffering from. So it's a very safe space where people come and they're able to recover from all those things. At the same time, we have improved our financial capacity as a Christian Union. We have opened an account, and over 2 years, from 0 shillings, we have been able to handle more than 150,000.
When we moved to a director for international students, we have worked together with them.
Well, basically, my number one highlight was basically when we went to Children's Home. That's in New Sense. We are glad that we were basically were able to impact their lives in one way or another.
During my reign, I have been attending so many events out there. And during the events that have been organized by the school, of course, I've been here talking to the students.
What I'm most proud of is being able to fulfill part of my manifesto, which was to bring back the bus travel for students from ANU to the nearest station, which is Masailo there, and also back to ANU. That is in the morning and in the evening.
In our regime, a very large percentage of our students benefited from the scholarships and initiatives. In the September semester, we had the financial aid scholarships, and I can say that 80% out of the 100% of the students who had met all the requirements and made the application did benefit from the scholarships. And in the January semester, 83 out of the 170 students who applied for the associate scholarship did benefit from it, and that is the largest number that has been recorded since associate was founded.
I've worked in catering services where provided nutritious food for the students,
and also creating a supportive and a positive environment for students.
It has been a really amazing tenure for me, and I've greatly gained skills in the field of criminal justice and security management, especially when executing different events. I've been able to plan and successfully execute them, from the graduation ceremony of 2024 and the campus kickoff, which was in the September semester 2024, and now the last one, which was the gala night.
One of such events is the Cultural Week, which culminates to a gala.
One of the biggest events that we had during my tenure is the Cultural Week. I'm very proud of my team for undertaking it very nicely, and according to the reviews we got from students, it was one of the best, and we were really set a bar.
During Cultural Week, which is something when we got into office was one of the main things I was really looking forward to. We were able to take part in all the activities. We had people who cooked, we had people who danced, we had people who sang, and all these countries were able to showcase their culture.
I am proud of having introduced Miss Kavi ANU. This title was brought to make the ladies feel comfortable in their bodies.
But the road wasn't without challenges.
I never knew that I had anxiety until I got into this role. You have times where you're planning something and it's pending. You get sleepless nights, basically. Insomnia is at an all-time high. But you pull through it all. God has been gracious to us and my team. We were able to pull through and deal with each challenge as it came.
As their tenure ends, the outgoing council leaves behind not just a legacy, but also words of wisdom.
The advice that I'll give to the current Mr. ANU is that he should sharpen his skills, intellectual skills, and also the modeling skills.
To my successor, Edgar, one thing I'll tell you is it's not really a position that people call it a flower position. There's a lot to be done, and it really needs determination and hard work. And of course, God is always the key for everything.
What I'll tell the incoming Miss Africa Nazarene is that she should be bold out there. She should not be afraid to show herself out there. She should always be ready to show up, and she should feel like a queen and represent the school like the queen she is.